Let's bring in our resident motivator, Mushira Said. Thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you. Good morning, both of you.
Thank you.
Morning.
Looking very lovely as usual.
Oh, thank you. I've been called many things. Lovely is now one of them.
Okay. So it's interesting. We're talking about peace. It's a very broad subject. But how do you find peace in a world where there's a lot of problems? You know, with the current economic crisis and so on. How do we find inner peace?
Okay. I wanted to address the topic on peace this morning was because of last week, on the 21st of September is the World Peace Day, and it's declared by United Nations. And what is the World Peace Day? On that day is where everybody sees fire. And upon that, I reflected, it's like when we do not have peace within us, there will never be peace on the outside. People may have that one day to stop, but there's still the inner anger or that non-forgiveness, or I must do something in order to attack the other person. You know, it is in each and every one of us, that individual peace, or that individual feeling of no peace within, right? So I'm a big advocate of what is internal is viewed on the outside. You can see things, whether a person is peaceful or having a peaceful life, through, you know, his environment and how he projects himself is because of the peace within, all right? When I talk about peace, I always address the body, mind, heart and spirit levels, all right? So when we have internal peace, right, we will have peace on the outside, as in how you are peaceful in your relationships with other people. How are you in terms of your stress level, for example? Now, when you mentioned just now about Tom, one of our viewers, I just remembered a post that he actually put in,
Yes.
on My Hands Are Tied, and I thought that was a wonderful post, and I want to bring it up today, this morning, because a lot of times when you ask people, you know, questions, hey, how are you doing today? People say, okay lah, surviving, you know, those things, like things like what to do, no choice, and my hands are tied, that's one thing, and that is a reflection of not having peace within. Right? Because you are feeling that something is just inadequate, right? Whenever there's the feeling of inadequacy, feeling of stress, feeling of I have no choice, I have what to do, my hands are tied, I cannot deal with it, you know, that is when you have you don't have internal peace at all, all right? And it will project out into your life and into your relationships with others. Now, how come we don't have peace in this world? Is because a lot of people operate out of emotions which are negative, like your greed, your envy, your ego, and these are the ones that actually affect relationships with other people and make people see like, oh, I'm better than the other person, or you know, you try to put the other person down, and there will be no peace.
It will be a never-ending cycle.
You'll never have peace inside. You'll never have peace with other people. You know, how are you going to live? As long as you judge people, you will never have peace, right?
Well, Mushira, we're going to open the phone lines right now. So if you have any peaceful or otherwise questions, please do let us know, and we'll try to help you out with that. Our phone numbers are, as usual, on screen right now.
we were still remembering the phone lines from our previous
we will be
studio.
doing that. Don't worry. By the end of the year, we'll have it down for you. Okay, let's get back to talking about peace. So far, we're talking about inner peace and how we affect people around us. Now, when we talk about most of the other topics, you have these 3-step programs or one-step thing that you can do immediately to actually feel a little bit more peaceful. Do you have something like that for us today?
Initially, like when I do my courses, I always address the body, mind, heart, and spirit. Right? Now let's talk about the spirit today. Okay, when we want to find peace, focus on our spirit. All right, and I do 2 very basic principles when it comes to empowering your spirit. Right, and that is the techniques of forgiveness and gratitude. All right, and before you go to sleep, this is something that everyone can do. Before you go to sleep, especially before you go to sleep, because that is when our subconscious starts working very powerfully. Always think of all the good things and that you want to be thankful for, you know, what you are grateful for in your life, right? So when you think of gratitude, even though you don't think of lack, like, oh, I don't have enough of this, I don't have enough of that, that makes you stressed out, and then you don't feel gratitude, right? So be thankful, write all the grateful things that you have in your life, that you are grateful for in your life, you know. And if you can't think of any, you look at people who are slightly worse off than you, even slightly worse off than you, you feel, wow, at least I'm not like that. That is gratitude. Start with simple things like that. And another thing which is really, really powerful and I'm a big advocate for is the process of forgiveness. All right, and most people do not forgive either themselves or a certain situation, or others, you know, someone or many people that they just cannot forgive, and it brings these negative emotions, brings them through their lives, and they will always find stress, they will always attract negative things. And you know, I believe in this one thing that we should have war against, and that is the buruk sangka attitude, which is judging people. You always think that other people is inadequate, or this guy is not good, or this guy is whatever, you know, don't trust this person. It brings stress out, and as long as you share this with other people and you gossip about it, it spreads this negativity around. And do you know that the energy of love is so much more powerful than hate and anger? It can overcome a lot of things, right? But most of us in this world right now are not aware. We are using negative energy to spread more, right? So as long as we are aware, as we program love, and I've always teach on programming love and respect inside of us, so that every time you see a person, you will see good things. Even business opportunities that come, you know, you will attract good things in your life, right? Money, problem with money. When you have love and respect, you will attract good things in your life, and you will ward off all the negative things. But most of us, we do not have internal peace. So that two basic things is something we can start off with. Just always be grateful for whatever you have. There's always people who are worse off than you, right? And at the same time, forgive and release some issues of anger.
All right, now we've got two callers on the line. Let's take the first one, Mr. Koo, I believe. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Terence. Good morning, Yasmin.
Morning.
And good morning to the professor. Now, the problem is this, I mean, I can appreciate the fact that Malaysia is a very peaceful country, you know. But unfortunately, this is not reflected in the way people drive. Part of my job includes traveling all over the city and Klang Valley. And I see this repeatedly. People are very aggressive in the way they drive. They cut people off. There's no sense of calmness in the way they drive.
Okay.
So is that reflective of an inner conflict within them?
Right. Okay.
Hey, thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Back to back, let's take our second caller. Good morning, Mr. Jude Chang, I believe, our ambassador from Malacca. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, yes,
hello.
Mr. Jude.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
morning. Can hear you.
Good morning to Karen,
Morning.
Morning.
Jasmine, and our special guest speaker. I forgot her name, sorry.
Mushida.
Mushida. Yes.
Good morning to you all.
Aha.
Now, this morning is a very interesting subject, peace.
Aha.
Now, I'd like to share peace in the home.
Peace in the home.
Now, do you know that the number of children suffering from psychological problem has keep on increasing? Do you know that psychological problem they're facing, the young children? And
Okay.
they are not aware of it.
Okay.
You know why? Now, in our home, there's no peace.
Homes, you know.
Father and mother fighting, quarreling, shouting at each other in front of the children.
Okay.
And the children is not stupid. They are aware what's going on. And they are doing it in front of the children. And
Okay.
these children, when this is going on day to day, month to month, year to year, and these children, they're going out from baby to adult. So when they enter this childhood, when they see the father, mother fighting, and this is their emotional feeling. So when they grow up, they have this emotional problem. Okay? And we are not aware because the country, we are lack of child psychology.
Right.
We are lack of that. And many of the school children, I notice they have a lot of emotional problem, and there's nobody to turn to help them. So I hope government will do something about it. Huh? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jude.
All right.
Quite a lot for you to handle.
Yes.
Drivers and children.
Okay, we'll address the first one first, which
Okay.
was Mr. Koo, right?
Yeah.
By the way, Mr. Koo, please call me Mushida.
You've been elevated.
Yes, Professor. All right, I'm Mushida. Okay, now you mentioned about driving, unpeacefully on the roads, right? Yeah, the way people drive. Yes, it is a reflection of the lack of internal peace. Sometimes you will see the person coming out of the car, looking all very nice, very happy. Hello, how are you? Put them behind the wheel. You know?
But
Yeah.
can I just suggest that sometimes when we're talking about our Malaysian drivers, it is something that it's infectious. You know
It's
that when
infectious.
you drive, you feel like I'm a good driver. This is my speed. I'm okay. When somebody cuts you off, then you say, why is these people cutting me off? You want to cut that person
Right.
off, or
What do you
It's
think
like
is happening there, Yasmin?
It's
Oh my, we're gonna have a
do you
session right here.
What do you think is happening there?
It's
When you were saying
introspection,
that?
you know, we feel we okay. I'm
Right.
okay. I'm fine. I'm driving according to my limit.
uh-huh.
But somebody cuts you off or doesn't give you a chance to to go out at a certain junction or so on. You become, you know what? That person doesn't give me a chance. I won't give somebody else a chance. I won't wait.
What do you think is happening there? What kind of emotion or energy that is coming out
That's
from a person?
so negative,
There is a
because
there is a very big human flaw in every one of us, and that is called the EGO.
EGO,
Right? The ego.
yes.
The ego. Oi, jangan, you know, whatever
Jangan
the
bagi
person
chance.
is, don't give chance, oh, he do that to me, I do that to you,
Yes,
I do
yes,
that
yes.
to another person, you know.
Yes.
When that negative emotion comes out, you know, and you let it, the ego comes in, hey, look, I'm better than you, I don't deserve to blah, 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 you know. So that it comes out. And what Mr. Koo said just now was right about the it's a reflection of what is inner conflict inside the person. There's no peace within, right? Sometimes they can control their facial expressions very well when you see them, but in certain situation where they are inside the car on their own, right? They, you know, you'll be surprised some of the words people use when they are driving,
Yes.
swearing. It is a reflection of lack of internal peace. And when that negative emotion, like you mentioned just now, the ego comes out, right? It does give a bad impact. And what most people do not realize is that all these negative emotions is not isolated. It is not just, oh, I can handle this is just within me. Whatever is projected out from your mouth, through your actions, through your thoughts, is actually very powerful. It is affecting each and every one of us in the society, country, the world, right? So it is actually each and our responsibility to have inner peace, right? To be able to project. If we want world peace, you complain, oh, I want no peace and this and that. It's because each and every one of us are not doing something about our internal, right?
That's really
Yeah.
true. I really believe that. You know, I like the way she said it. Responsibility. You should take responsibility for being peaceful within yourself, because
Yes.
you know what? It affects everybody else. If you're having a bad day, then you're bound to spread that negative emotion to somebody. I mean, when Yasmin just mentioned the thought of being negative, some of my hair on this side just fell off. You can't see my
You're a
pillow.
good-looking guy. I'm spreading the love. Terence a good-looking guy. Everybody's beautiful this morning. That's
Okay.
You just
true.
made me laugh. I didn't expect that.
Yes. I like doing that. And that's the way we spread positivity on Hello On 2. And Mr. Jude, now he talked about a completely different sort of being peaceful at home. He says, you know,
yes.
children are getting more restless because of their parents fighting around them.
Exactly, and this is very sad to say, but the home is actually a very, very important environment, formation for all human beings, the parents, and like what Jude said just now, it is so true. Sometimes when the ego comes in, parents fighting is also because of I am right. There's no consideration about other people at all.
I think in a sense, you know, when we're talking about families, husbands should just realize that your wife is always right.
Hello.
It makes the relationship much more easier if you just realize that we are always right.
Okay, husbands, you don't listen to
attain peace.
this side of the story. Let's listen to the peaceful
The
solution.
wife is right, and your mother-in-law is always right.
Oh gosh, that doesn't sound like a very
now,
good life.
when what Jude said just now was really good about the children being affected. Now, for every human being, the formative years, especially 0 to 6 years old, these are where, you know, all your subconscious is just absorbing any energy, any information, any values that is passed down, and it will be carried forward in your life for the rest of your life. You may not even realize it. You may not know why certain people just make you unhappy, or you look at certain people and you say, hey, you know, these people about what, you know, you have prejudice against certain groups of people. It's because of all these values that's been instilled from 0 to 6 years old. So as parents, we have to be very careful about our children, because our children are our responsibility. They are the ones who will be carrying out our legacy, right? So be careful about the environment that we are going to bring up, because energy is actually very, very powerful, right? And why people have a lot of inner conflict has a lot to do with issues that they sometimes don't even realize that they have. They think they are right. Oh, this is my life. I've always been living this way. This is what I believe in. But they do not realize some of these values or certain things that they have been living their life before has not added value to themselves or to other people. And you know what? We are all not isolated. It is not that, we are doing something negative within, or it's only affecting us. It will not have nothing to do with the world. It has everything to do with the world. We are all interconnected. We as humans, we have energy that we release out. We are interconnected, right? If a person is not peaceful in one area, when they go out, they go to schools, for example, they make friends or anything, we are always affected. And if the other person accepts this negative energy, it will be passed on. All right?
Okay.
So, love and respect, strong energy, spread that, right? That will help better as long as we quickly remove. Of course, in life, there will always be good and bad, positive, negative, egoistic, humble. There's always opposites.
Right.
But as long as we are aware that once we feel a certain way, our ego starts to come out, quickly, I call it whoosh it off, replace it with something good, right? And that will add value not only to other people, but to yourself. Most people, they act on ego, not realizing it will actually destroy themselves.
Okay.
Oh, well, it's very good messages this morning from Mushida, and I especially like the one about you being personally responsible for being peaceful. So, go back, if you're watching this program from the office, go back home and, try to spread some positivity. You can even start right now in your own little cubicle if you're in the office.
And I think most importantly, this is just my opinion, choose your friends wisely. They are toxic friends that you should really steer away from, because those friends that when you hang out with them, at the end they just feel so bad about yourself. Those who criticize you, complain, that vibe of energy. Choose your friend wisely and, start spreading the love, honey.
Yes.